Good evening. Tonight's the night for a major wargaming life hack. And it deals with one of my pet peeves, something that has been driving me nuts for decades. And that is the idea of terrain overlays. On principle, I like them. They can extend the usefulness of a map. They can adapt it to new scenarios, new situations. It's a good idea. It's very cost effective. You cut out your overlays, put them on. You basically have a whole new map. Now, we associate this most with Squad Leader, the gamettes, and Advanced Squad Leader especially. For example, tonight I was looking over Twilight of the Reich from MMP. This comes with a total of 48 overlays, and that's an awful lot of cutting. This is what we think of the most, but other games have it too. I'm thinking of the cloud overlays for Avalon Hill's Flight Leader. They're overlays. You cut them out, you put them on the map, and so it is centered on Advanced Squad Leader, but it's not totally ASL oriented. But ASL really uses these more than almost anyone else. Even the old Yaquino games that had die-cut giant counters that conform to the hex grain, and you can put them on a map as to add variety. But ASL has really run with it, and MMP has continued what Avalon Hill started. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. What I'm saying is I hate cutting them out. I hate getting the scissors and trying to get the hex grain, and don't cut too far over the edges. Don't leave too much white. And then put them in an envelope and keep track of them. Giant pain. And this is something that I think we can leverage today's technology. In fact, yesterday's technology going back 10 to 15 years, and avoid all of this. My suggestion here is to don't cut the cardboard. Instead, I think it's safe to say that nearly every wargamer today has a color printer, inkjet, or a color laser. We have access to them. And unlike back 30 years ago when I was a contractor at Hewlett-Packard, these things are reliable. They don't break if you tilt one. They're a lot cheaper. There's no reason for them not to be in everybody's home. I got the old HP color laser jet I'm using now. Not like the old ones. You don't have, if you tilt it, it doesn't break. It is not doomed by being put on a two-wheeler by the UPS guy delivering it, as used to happen. None. It's also a lot cheaper. I bought mine from my then brother-in-law. We're still in good terms. Don't worry about it. But John has a computer business in Raleigh, North Carolina. I was down there. I bought the printer off of him, wrestled it in my car, and drove it home. Stayed overnight in Charlottesville. Nobody dared take that heavy thing out of my car. Got it up to Pittsburgh, put it on the credenza in my office, and there it has sat ever since. It is heavy, but I swear by it. And I was using it tonight for my life hack on terrain overlays. So, you get this. Simple solution. Put it into 3-in-1 and make a color copy. Only now you use transparencies. And here is what came out. Now, okay, color copy, that's not revolutionary. But here's where you save time, effort, frustration, shakes, missing the with the scissors as the dog's barking at you. Yes, that's you, Dudley. And this is much better because what you do, instead of cutting along the hex grain and the edges of the hex, you can cut in precisely, lay it on the map, and because it's transparent, you don't have to be real careful. You see through it. Now, for some people, they keeping track of these, you may want to take an ultra-fine point Sharpie and write on the back what the number is. I experimented with that, and the number does shine through on some of these, especially if you're writing on green or brown, like for clear hexes or a wooden building. It doesn't show through as much on the gray stone and concrete buildings. But even then, you don't have to do that, because MMP has been nice enough to put the numbers on the front and the back. So when you cut these out, you might want to leave the ID number on it. It's just going to be one more thing on the map. It's not going to be really super intrusive in most cases. I don't see it being a problem with calculating lines of sight or anything. You can see what terrain it is. Just leave it on there. And instead of cutting like here, look at all the hexes that you have to cut here on RY10. No, you basically cut across here, down diagonal, take the vertical down. Easy. Think of all the time you just saved by leveraging the technology that we now have the freedom to take for granted. That is your color 3-in-1. Now, these were all done on that laser printer. I also have a Epson color 3-in-1 inkjet printer. I don't expect it to work any differently, except I'll use inkjet specific transparencies for it. I don't think that the laser ones will work very well. The manufacturer in China does not recommend it. Maybe they want to sell more, but I don't know. I'm going to take their word for it. I don't want any major jams in any of my printers. But yeah, we can do this, and saves time, saves frustration, to get the shakes. And if you already have the shakes, it won't be as critical. And as we get older, maybe that is something we have to worry about. And also the fact our eyes may not be what they used to be. And cutting little tiny precise lines and angles, a little tougher. Now you don't have to. So, like I said, my efforts here were for Advanced Squad Leader, but you don't have to confine it to that. Anytime you have a map overlay or those happy little clouds in Flight Leader, print it on a transparency. Same as you would for an overhead projector or anything like that. It's nice and simple. And it cuts out huge amounts of work. Now, of course, keeping track of all these, that's still a burden, but it's not as bad as it was. And if you leave the numbers on the front, it gets easier. And you don't have to write anything even. Just make generally rough cuts and get on with your gaming, get on with your life, and don't get all fussy. So, what's wrong? What's the downside? Right now, I'm not seeing any, because most of you have plexiglass too. You can put these on the map, put the plexiglass over the map, as chances are you're already doing, especially for unmounted maps, and you're in business. What's not to like? I'm not seeing anything. So, thank you for your time, and hopefully you're going to save time for watching this video, save frustration, and maybe not cut off a finger or anything. and not get mad at your dog for barking at you when you're trying to do something precise. So thank you for your time. I hope you save time, save frustration, and of course, please, whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe. There's going to be more. Not just wargaming, but also history, political science, and other stuff that may catch my fancy. But right now, it's how to save you time and save you frustration. So, thank you very much, and I will see you with the next. Video. Thanks again, and goodbye.